Hi, my name is Joanna. And the article I read and we will be discussing about today is called From Academic Language to Language Architure, Challenging Raciolinguistic Ideologies in Research and Practice. This article was written by Nelson Flores. So, at the start of the test, we are presented with the community in which the research paper is based. It is a school in Pennsylvania where a large part of its community is Latinos. So, the first concept we are introduced is racialized students. What are racialized students? In short words, there are students that lack of academic language. This concept was created by the Common Core State Standards. So, following up with the test introduction, we are presented with social language and academic language. So, basically, the school's framework think that Latinos, as an example, lack of academic language because they are more used to social language. So, they want to put Latinos in pull-out classes in which they will develop the academic language. This is generally done by using dual classes. So they first learn the skills in Spanish, and they will learn it in English. So that's like the first part. Of course, this is considered a way of xenophobia because they think that because of the fact that they come from another country, that their mother tongue is in English, they lack of academic language and they need more reinforcement. But they do not do like individual evaluation because I do understand that, some of us, because of where we come from, we do need reinforcement, but not all of us. Sorry about the background noise. Okay, definition of academic language is content-specific vocabulary and complex sentence structure. So the author gives us a couple of examples of how this concept, like this definition, is wrong when it's used against Latinos. So he first of all makes a basketball example. So he explains how basketball players use like a specific type of language as a score, home run, that non-basketball players or enthusiasms will understand. But this does not mean that basketball players or people who are interested and know about basketball lack of other language. I'm so sorry. Lack of other language skills. He also used his own paper as an example. So he says, I'm using here content-specific vocabulary as linguistic, sociolinguistic, language frameworks, and things like that. But I'm also in complex sentence structure. But I'm also using social language. I use the first person to construct my test and all of that. This paper basically questions the accuracy of the framework provided by the government. You know how we need to eradicate raciolinguistic ideologies and how that requires fundamental social transformation and radical restructuring, which is not available for all schools of all the things. So he even gives like tips about I'm so sorry. He also gives tips about how we can achieve this without like the social transformation and everything. And one of these tips is rejecting fragments of language deserve as disadvantage to radicalize students. which means, as I already explained, dual classes or reinforcement only to Latinos students, or believing that because of their race they do lack of language, of academic language skills. He also has a metaphor that is like language architect. So he calls the students to be, he calls a framework that we want students to be language architects, which means that, of course, an architect cannot do whatever he wants without following certain rules, because, the building will be unsafe. The same happens with language. We have to follow certain rules so communication is viable. But we do call students to manage language, or just like manipulate language for specific purposes. Apart from this, I think the conclusion to this test will be that the paper exposes how language is pretty much predominantly is still ruled by white supremacy and could be used for xenophobic purposes. It also highlights the importance to restructure the language frameworks that regulate teaching in schools in order to be more accurate and efficient and cover the diverse students' needs. Some questions I have after reading this paper is that because it is based on Northern American school, I do not know anything about American law, so I wonder what is being done by both the political and educational field to expose and generate change in this, in this trouble that is being seen. So that will be pretty much it. Thank you so much for watching.